Residents have expressed significant concern to me over the recent reduction in services of the X51 and X53 bus routes, which are vital for connectivity in our area. Can the portfolio holder clarify the rationale behind these changes, and will he intervene to ensure that these essential services are improved rather than reduced? Thank you.
Thank you for your question, Councillor Monks. Regarding the X51 and the X53 routes, I understand the concerns raised by residents about the winter timetables on these routes, which are essential for connecting communities across West Dorset. To clarify, the X51 and X53 are operated as commercial services run by First Bus. Each winter, First produces a reduced timetable, as has been their long-standing practice. In recent years, the bus company has requested financial assistance from Dorset Council to maintain the service throughout the winter months. This year, First Bus requested a significantly higher amount, an increase that Dorset could not support due to the sharp rise in cost and the limited funding available. To keep the route going through the winter, council officers worked quickly with First to revise the route and operating pattern. These changes reduced the cost and helped improve the long-term viability of their service, not just for the winter period, but with improvements for the Weymouth area throughout the year. It's important to note that this was not a council decision. Timetables for commercial services are set by the operator. The council can only influence them when public funding is involved, and even then we are constrained by the available resources and the operator's legal obligations, such as driver hours and rest periods. We are currently investigating with First how improved connections with the train services at Axminster, particularly the 7:35 service to Exeter, can be achieved. We will also continue to engage with local groups and stakeholders to monitor the winter services. Looking ahead, First Bus has agreed to start planning earlier for next year's service, which they need to, and to work more closely with the council and community to ensure that the service reflects local needs as far as possible. However, it's important to recognise that the government does not currently provide the level of bus funding required to deliver the kind of rural bus services that residents in Dorset rightly expect and deserve. And thank you again for raising this important issue.
Thank you, Cllr Andrews. Councillor Monks, do you have a supplementary question on the similar topic?
Thank you, Chair, and thank you, Cllr Andrews, for the answer. I guess my follow-up question would be, it's obviously a difficult situation because my understanding is this has all become a very last-minute change due to First. So I guess if there's possibly two sneaky questions I would ask is, what could we do in the future to sort of stop the last-minute changes from First doing this to us again? And secondly, if funding is the main issue, can we look again at that? Because obviously public transport will feed into the priorities of the council with regards to nature and climate emergency. And whilst I'm sure members from Weymouth will appreciate the protection of their service, this will affect people getting to education, going to their jobs in the West, not just Bridport, but further afield. So I wonder if we could look again at that funding and see if we can find some pennies down the sofa there. Councillor Andrews.
We will certainly give it a good go of trying to find some pennies down the sofa, and we will be in communication with First about some minor adjustments to that table. But when you get confronted with a 125% rise in the subsidy required, you take a big gulp, don't you? So yeah, we'll look.